This is the Geekazine Weekly Podcast, episode number 168 for, when is it? It is the 8th of December, 2010. I'm your humble host, Jeffrey Powers. WikiLeaks, Google OS, Wi-Fi airline concerns, and Rose Bowl scalping. This is all in this episode of the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Once again, I use that usual scrubby to find all the cool stuff on the internet to give it to you with the Grinch. So let's get started, shall we?
Welcome to Geekazine, a weekly audio magazine for the geek in all of us. Now, here is your host, Jeffrey Powers.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the show. My name is Jeffrey Powers. A little bit late, but better late than never, right? Oh, it's been a long day. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a little bit. But right now, we've got a big show to get into. This is the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Jeffrey Powers, over at www.geekazine.com. 608-205-4378 is the phone number, and geekazine@gmail.com is the email address. How are you? I hope you're doing really well, and I thank you very much for downloading the podcast, even though I'm hitting the microphone stand here. If this is the first time you're listening or watching, thank you very much for coming down to the show. This show is produced every Wednesday for consumption and served with a salute to those who lost their lives on this 69th memorial of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. I'll take a second here. Of course, check out the website over at www.geekazine.com. You can register for the show notes. And I won't sick the Green Hornet on you if you do. If you register the show notes, and then you won't get the Green Hornets. It just won't happen. Anyway. You can also download the show in many ways. We're a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. We're also down at blueberry.com, BLUBRRY.com. You can get us via your Zune, your iTunes, your Stitcher, and as a gift during those 8 crazy nights of gift giving. Happy Hanukkah to those of you who are in the middle of Hanukkah right now, by the way. We have a great show for you here. Before we get into it, we'd like to, of course, thank our sponsors. We have the new sponsor, and that is the Luxor for the month of... Why'd you turn off? There you go. For the month of... Whoa, where are we? There we are. For the month of, for the next couple months, we got Luxor. Of course, if you go over to Luxor.com, you'll get some great deals. Of course, they are our sponsor for the Consumer Electronics Show and 2011 coverage, and we are proud to be part of the Luxor, staying at the Luxor. Of course, it is an MGM property, so you just have to choose your date, just have to choose where you want to go, and you just go. It's the Pyramid in Las Vegas, if you've never been there, and of course, if you can't find it, just follow that beam of light in the evening. It's great. I've been in there many times. We spent some time there while we were there last time for Blog World, and I can't wait. I just cannot wait for this. Yes, it's going to be great. We'll talk about that more, of course. But for Luxor, go and get those deals right now, $40 a night. Just go over to the show notes, click on the Luxor link, and that'll get you to where you need to go. Of course, the show is brought to you by Mozy. Backup now, backup often, and backup off-site. Remember that code GEEK gets you 15% off. 15% off that already low price over at Mozy.com. And it's so important to back up your pictures, your documents. And if you're going to get a brand new computer, what a great way to do it. You back up everything now, then you bring it back when you get the new computer. That's how that works. That's over at Mozy.com. You can check that out. And, of course, our main sponsor is GoToMeeting. And, you know, if I can't think here. Okay, colleagues. My James T. Kirk for GoToMeeting.com. Colleagues that are in different offices traveling. It's almost as impossible for everyone to meet. Highly recommend GoToMeeting. It's a collaborative effort, so you don't have to be in the same place at the same time. You can get your stuff done, get it done now, and get on with your life. Whether you're on a PC, you're on a Mac, you're on an iPad, you're on whatever you're on, you can meet up with people. You can see what they're seeing on their desktops. They can give you control, so you can show them what you need to do, and you can turn a boring old conference call into something Very, very special. It's a program you need to put in your business toolbox. That's the bottom line. We've got a 45-day special offer just for you for the holidays. Get it now. Put it in your business toolbox. For this offer, all you have to do is go to gotomeeting.com, choose Try It Free Now button, and enter in the code PODCAST. That's the Try It Free Now button, and enter in the code PODCAST for 45 days of great GoToMeeting action. Meet smarter with gotomeeting.com. Oh, wow. I almost lost it there. But hey, before I can buy this Johnny Cash jumpsuit I see online and wear it for the next episode, hey, let's get into the straight up news. All right. We're getting in the straight up news, and for some reason the music's not going. What? Hey, that's okay. We're just going to keep going anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to start over at theguardian.co.uk. Of course, Julian Assange, I think that's how you pronounce it. He has been captured. He is in custody, and he was asked. They asked him, "Do you want to post bail?" And they said, "No, I don't want. I think I'll live longer if I stay in your custody." So, of course, this is the whole WikiLeaks founder, who was basically he was accused of committing sex offenses in Sweden. So he's going to be set, no bail set. He's going to be sitting in prison until the 14th of December. I don't think that's in Sweden. I don't say December in Sweden. But anyway, sorry about that. I was trying to get fancy. What can you do? Anyway, if you want to read more about it, guardian.co.uk. Tumblr returns, of course. We heard about the Tumblr tumbling down. It tumbled down. They had a critical database cluster. Excuse me. They said the database cluster caused a big problem. They restored the databases. They brought the blogs back online. So if you used Tumblr, if you relied on Tumblr, you had 24 hours where you didn't have Tumblr. Now, we all go through a 24-hour outage. I have no doubt in my mind, no matter what you do, no matter where, no matter what system you use, you go through a 24-hour outage. I went through a 24-hour outage on my website this last year. Tumblr goes through a 24-hour outage. You have Google went through 24-hour outages. It just happens. 24 hours, gone. They're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Anyway, if you want to read more about this, go over to pcmag.com. And if you were affected, let me know if you were affected and how that affected you. Geekazine@gmail.com or 608-205-4378. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's the clash of the booksellers. Right here you have Google. There's the G. And right here you have Amazon. There's the A. And they go after each other. Anyway. Over on computerworld.com, of course, Google had announced, hey, we got a book system. We're giving it to you. And, of course, we're going to give you all the free books out there because what an easy way to start our library is by giving you all the books that are out of license and so on and so forth. So you'll be able to read Bram Stoker's Dracula or Peter Rabbit, I think is another one, and a whole bunch of other ones. But the best part, just like Amazon, you can move it from your mobile device to your laptop to your whatever, wherever you're going to be reading on to, whatever device you're going to be reading onto. So that is a cool thing, but they are going after, of course, they're going after Amazon. Not as much Apple. They didn't talk too much about it, saying, oh, well, hey, we're going to go after their iBooks. But the reality is iBooks go on Apple products. And if you're not in iTunes, then, hey, that's too bad. Your book's pretty much stuck in Apple land. It's a mythical land of apples. I don't know. And if you want to read more about this, it's over at computerworld.com. I don't read too many books, but I'm going to tell you something. If I had to choose between one or the other, right now I would choose Google because they have the more of the open sourceness to them, as opposed to Amazon. Definitely no Apple right now. I can always get an iBook free. And there's places you can get audiobooks for free. You can get print books for free online. Of course, if there's a license attached, you won't. It's not free. It's not much you can do on that. So anyway, computerworld.com. Check out that right there. Speaking of Google, we stick in Google land, in the happy, happy land of Googleites. Excuse me. Google Mobile Maps. This is reported over at Gigaohm, whatever you want to call it. Leak. Gigaohm is basically what it is. Basically, Google Mobile Maps they're changing the way that they process Google Maps, so it doesn't take information out on your 3G network, out on your 4G network. It tries to keep everything in-house, so it doesn't take as long to call up on Google Maps, especially when you're out of a range, because it doesn't matter what phone you're on, you are going to be out of range on that mobile device if you travel wherever you go. I mean, you'll have your big spots where everything is viewable and happy-go-lucky, but you're going to hit a dead spot. And the most thing that you'll want is that map to come up, as opposed to you seeing a complete wireframe. So Google Maps has decided to move everything into the device a little bit more and make sure that if you're in a dead spot, that you're still going to get your map, you're still going to find your way, which I think is a great idea. So it's pretty cool to actually see that they're actually thinking about these things and getting you what you need to do. I like this shot, of course, the big head, little arms shot. Anyway, if you're over on the video, you see this. Let's move on here. Yes, we decided, I took a poll a couple weeks ago, and I asked the question, do you want me to talk about rumors? And, of course, everybody I got more yeses than nos. So we're talking about rumors, and this is the rumor right here. Foxconn, who just can't seem to keep their mouths shut, have decided to let everybody know, hey, iPad 2 coming out by February. It's coming out. It's coming out, ladies and gentlemen. February. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. iPad 2 is going to start shipping. So we should see in January, I'm guessing around the week of Consumer Electronics Show, maybe the week after Consumer Electronics Show, Steve Jobs will get on the stage and say, we've got Apple II, and I'm assuming they're going to have front-facing cameras and back-facing cameras and side-facing cameras and bottom-facing cameras and everything there with that. So a lot of other cool stuff. And we'll see what happens with iPad 2 Electric Boogaloo. But right now, it's just a rumor, and if you want to read more on that rumor, go over to Reuters.com. This is not a rumor. This is something I will be playing instantly when I'm done. It's called Bejeweled 3. Actually, I don't play the game. I used to play the game when it was Bejeweled 1, but after Bejeweled 1, Bejeweled 2 just didn't make sense. Maybe Bejeweled 3 will be the breakout sequel that I really want to see. But anyway, Bejeweled 3 is out there, and it's competing with those Angry Birds. So if you are a Angry Bird and a Bejeweled fan, you have some opportunity to actually get to do some gaming. So my game right now, I'm telling you right now, of course, is We Rule. And no, I don't have an iPad. And I just have it on my silly little iPhone, and I have a lot of fun with it. And I just put down the Chalet. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. I put down the Chalet in my realm. So if you are on We Rule, please, We Rule Quests, please look up Geekazine, and of course you can be there, and you can come to my Swiss Chalet, because I just put it down on the South Realm, just so you know. Anyway, Gearlog.com for the Bejeweled information if you want to know more. Excuse me. I guess a little frog in my throat tonight. All right, let's talk a little bit about Facebook profile pages. Oh wait, I got to get my grapes going here. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Let's talk a little bit about Facebook friend pages. Of course, 60 Minutes. Mark Zuckerberg's on 60 Minutes. He's thinking, marketing tool. And what does he do? He turns around and he says, okay, we're revamping the whole Facebook thing. And so if you go over to Facebook.com, here, I'm gonna give you a little treat here. I'm gonna show you a little bit of my Facebook. Let's see if I can pull this up really quick. There we go. You're gonna see my Facebook page with hopefully not showing too many of my friends there. But yeah, that's basically my Facebook page. Of course, you'll see the pictures. You'll see the information up on top. I can edit the profile. I'll go down and I'll see some of my posts and some of my friends going on there. You'll see my latest post on Facebook. Something that happened I was not really happy about. So anywho, anyhow, anywow, anywhere, that is what's happening. And Mark Zuckerberg did a darn good idea and darn good job in figuring out, hey, let's just do it on 60 Minutes when everybody's watching, and then they'll know what's going on there. So he was being interviewed by Leslie Stahl, of course, and it was a great marketing profile right there. So I give you credit to Mark Zuckerberg. So far, there haven't been any real complaints. What do you think of the brand new profile? Have you looked at it? Let me know. Geekazine@gmail.com or 608-205-4378. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last part of part one. Yeah, I know we've got a short. No, there's actually a couple more here. Did I do that wrong? Oh, yeah, I did do that wrong. Hold on 1 second, Harry Potter. We have 15 gadgets here. I got to put it in order there. There we go. Let's get back here. Take a look at this. This is going to scare you. All right, over on device.com, they have 15 of the most ridiculous gadget TV commercials. And ladies and gentlemen, since this is all on YouTube, we will be playing some of those for you at the break on the video portion. Of course, we'll start at the top here. They had the Casio keyboard, which was really weird commercial. The IBM 5100, yeah, there we go. IBM 5100 portable computer. This was a 50-pound computer, and it cost $9,000 when it came out. $9,000. The Atari home gaming system, the 6-disc Pioneer CD player. We have the RCA Selectavision. I think that's the guy in the beginning. That guy, and of course AT&T computer. We go down the list. There's a whole ton of stuff here over at device.com. What I'm going to play for you is the one on the bottom here, because that was the Commodore 64 one. That was a funny one. But this one, the retro commercial, the Radio Shack cell phone, and we'll play it for you at the break. But that's it's hilarious. So if you want to check that out, go over to device.com, and of course, you'll get that. So, all right, a little bit of local news. Of course, the Wisconsin Badgers, ladies and gentlemen, are going to the Rose Bowl. Of course, they're playing TCU. But we came into another problem this last 24 hours. Apparently, people snagged up a whole bunch of Rose Bowl tickets, and then they turned around and they're trying to sell them on Craigslist. They're trying to sell them on eBay and all that other stuff. Well, the local college paper, the Badger Herald, that's actually a paper I actually wrote for when I was going to college there. They found some of these sources, and they decided to publish the names of the people selling their tickets. Now, the article talks about this one girl, Caitlin Cusack, who bought 2 tickets and then found out that her roommate already got a ticket or something like that, and she ended up, she wants to just sell the tickets so she can enjoy the game with money. And apparently she got put onto this list. I understand why they did this, but I think sometimes journalism goes a little bit too far. And it is technically public record, but there should be no hall of shame for trying to sell tickets. And now, if you're selling tickets for 5 times the face value, that's a different story. And I know that there's some scalping laws and rules there, so that might be an issue. But right now, you shouldn't put it in paper. Shouldn't be put in a paper like that. That's just not right. So if you want to check more out on that, go over to channel3000.com. There was a rumor earlier this week that AOL and Yahoo were thinking about coming together right now because the Beatles were on iTunes. Actually, because AOL and Yahoo need to do a mega merger. But this is not the first time that we've heard about mega merger from Yahoo and AOL, but ladies and gentlemen, it's probably not going to happen. The only way that this will happen is if a billionaire takes and buys Yahoo, and then that same billionaire turns around and buys AOL, and then goes up to the FTC, FCC, and says, "Can I merge the two?" And they say, "Yeah, sure." And then they do that. That would be a 2-year project right there. It would not happen at this time. I could see Yahoo selling something to AOL, or AOL selling something to Yahoo, like maybe the email. You know, AOL just revamped their email. Why not take it over to Yahoo and integrate it into their email system and maybe do something from there? But I don't think there will be a full merger. We will see and we might see a selling of something, but no full merger at all. So if you want to read more about this, we've got a link over on the AtlanticWire.com. And what do you think? Do you think Yahoo and AOL would do better if they had a merger? I don't know. Let me know. 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. Another thing is AOL has websites such as, I think, Engadget, and those websites, and they're all AOL powered. I wouldn't be surprised if they just had some of their lower end websites that actually still had a lot of traffic, and they decided to sell that to Yahoo. So that's a possibility there. But I don't think that we're going to see a Yahoo, or whatever that is. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, last part of part 1 here, and our friend Jerry Ellsworth, she's at it again, helping you with your bodily needs. And I have this shirt over here. Hold on one second. I got this shirt from Snorg Tees. Of course, Snorg Tees is a sponsor on the 5 Tech Things You Should Know. Check this out. It says, "Don't touch my junk, TSA." Don't touch my junk, TSA. I don't want you to touch that junk. Anyway, that's over on snorgtees.com if you want to check that out. But anyway, Jerry Ellsworth, sorry about that. Sorry about the pause there, too. Anyway, the whole point is that Jerry Ellsworth has decided, hey, you know, these scanners can't be that hard. So she decides to make a microwave handy scanner. It's not really the full... It's not the full body scanner or anything like that. But, oh, hey, that's a little questionable right there. Let's go down here. So, anyway... Jerry Ellsworth, she puts together this really cool thing. Looks like a gun. It's a handheld scanner that has multiple feed horns from satellite dishes that will let you see through objects. So if you want X-ray vision, ladies and gentlemen, this might be the way to do it. This might just be the way to do it. And, of course, she shows that on the video there. That's over on Crunch Gear if you want to check that out. So congratulations to Jerry Ellsworth for thinking a little bit harder than I do, because I could never make myself a do-it-yourself TSA scanner. In the meantime, you know, Jerry Ellsworth, if you want to scan me, I'm right here. Anyway. Did I say that out loud? That does bring us to the end of part 1. I hope you really enjoyed it. 608-205-4378 is the phone number. Geekazine@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, or you just want to slap my wrist for saying that comment about Jerry Ellsworth, I totally understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back with part 2 of the Geekazine, a weekly podcast. Maybe. There we go. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here with Geekazine over at www.geekazine.com. Of course, I'm a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. What better way to do it than to go out to the Consumer Electronics Show and be a part of the team. Consumer Electronics Show 2011, my 3rd year. Tech Podcast's been out there for 6 years, giving you all the primary interviews checking out all the cool stuff that's going to be coming out in the next year. Well, guess what? We're going to be live streaming the whole event. All of our primary videos are going to be going right on the stream. You'll be able to see it right after we record it. We get it to the booth, we get it to the stream, and you're watching it. But guess what? We also do something called the back channel. And basically, we take cameras like these, and we walk around the floor, and we get interviews. A lot of the time, we get interviews from some pretty famous people. And we want to push it out to you just as quick as we want to push out the primary video. That's why we're also going to be doing the back channel live stream. Yes, you will be able to watch the primary content live stream and the back channel live stream all on your computer. How do you do it? All you have to do is go up to Tech Podcasts and you check it out. Of course, if you want to sponsor any of these great events, including the back channel, feel free to do that. The link is right down here. You can check out more from there. If you are a vendor at CES, you should make sure that you should go over to Tech Podcasts and our brand new TPN.TV channel or website to get more information on how you can actually get an interview from our booth. You can also get an interview from the back channel if you want to, because it's going to be just as cool to get it out there. We're going to be live streaming the primary channel. We're going to be live streaming the back channel. We're going to be doing it for 35 plus hours, the whole weekend, basically. So you will have the most content available from the Tech Podcast group. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you the first weekend in January for the Consumer Electronics Show Tech Podcast Network coverage. Part of the live stream is brought to you by the new Luxor. Go over to tpn.tv and select the Luxor ad to get yourself some great deals starting at $40 a night. For some reason, the video's not playing the way I want it to. All right, looks like we're having a slight technical difficulty on the video side, so I'm just going to hold that there. I was showing you the new Luxor ad, which is basically a pretty cool 10-15 second ad on the new Luxor, of course, being one of our main sponsors for CES. But for some reason, it would do like 1 frame a second or 2 frames, something like that. It was just not working right. So, and I haven't had that problem before, so I'm just kind of curious what happened there. But anyway, we're going to move on here. Welcome to the show. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for coming down to the show. I hope you like it. I hope you really enjoyed it. I do have one email here that I know about, and I forgot to call it up, and so I'm going to try and call it up as we go here. And I didn't show off the commercial here. So for some of you, I'm going to show this on the video side. You're going to see the commercial right now that I was talking about, because that's what I really wanted to show off, and I forgot to do that. So let's do that right now, of course, on the video version, and we'll of course, with the audio version, we'll just skip that right over. So this is the Geekazine podcast.
Finding a phone in a car isn't that unusual anymore, except when it leaves the car for greener pastures, the high seas, or a leisurely lunch. Radio Shack keeps you in constant communication with their affordable, transportable cellular telephone.
Hello? Oh, yes, he's right here. It's for you.
Yes, I heard about the merger. Buy 100 shares.
The affordable, transportable cellular telephone, only at Radio Shack.
Of course, they have some of the other stuff here. Let's what was the other one? Let's do the Commodore 64 commercial here.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore's keeping up with you. In a world of fun and fantasy, an ever-changing keeping up with you.
And that was the Commodore commercial. We got one more here that I wanted to show off. Where was it? I think that's, yeah, this was it. Main television one.
Hey! Mr. in Television.
Plimpton.
I bet it's great doing all those in television commercials. I bet you get to keep all the games. Me and my friends like Night Stalker the best. Bats are real scary.
Here, your friends won't have this new one. Lock and Chase.
They won't believe this. Would you autograph it for me?
Certainly. What's your name?
My name?
So anyway, that was some of the commercials there. We got a couple other ones here, the Apple ones and the Sony ones. So that we'll get back into that. Welcome back to the show. Of course, if you're on the audio side, you are just joining us. We just played a little bit of the commercials that we saw on device.com for the 15 awkward commercials in the 1980s. So a lot of interesting stuff there. So anyway, let's get back into your show, because that's what you're here for, is the show. Video, of course, we looked at the commercials. Question of the week: will WikiLeaks clones be more successful? As you might have heard, some of WikiLeaks, since the WikiLeaks issues have been coming up, they had some clones pop up. Now, the biggest problem with WikiLeaks, and the one thing that really bugs me, is what I understand about what's happening with WikiLeaks. And basically it is, they have some document in a high encryption, and this might be bunk, but I heard the stories. They had some document in high encryption, and that document, if WikiLeaks was to go down, that document would open up, and a lot of documents would be exposed. And these documents are very hurtful for not only the United States, but for other countries. So it's basically a blackmail to keep WikiLeaks up. So that is probably the main reason why I don't think that we need a WikiLeaks anymore. I think we need to talk about documents. I think we need to know about certain things, yes, but if you are going to resort to blackmail to keep your website up, then there's something wrong here. So maybe it was just bunk. It was just a rumor that I heard on this. But if that's the truth, then I'm glad that WikiLeaks is going through the problems right now. 4chan recently has come to their aid in some way. I'm not sure if WikiLeaks is up or down. Really don't care myself. I don't go to that website as much as some of the other people. So we'll see what happens. And of course, we'll follow it for you over at Geekazine. Hey, I want to let you know what's going on. First of all, I installed the new Wirecast. Now, I installed the beta version of Wirecast, and I had some problems. Went back to Wirecast 3. Excuse me. And then now I reinstalled Wirecast 4, and I'm kind of still having some of the problems that I saw before, but it's a little bit more stable. And the one thing that I like about it is I can actually do a recording in 720p. Now, hopefully there won't be any skips. So we've got a double recording going video-wise. We've got the audio going on a separate channel here. So there shouldn't be any problem with that. But we'll see what happens with the video. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that there's going to be no major problems. If everything is working properly, this will be the first video in 720p from the Geekazine podcast. Now, you might be going, that might be a little bit too much for a 40-minute show. But you got to increase. You got to improve. You got to get to the next level and keep going to the next level and keep going from there and keep going from there. I want to at least do 16:9. So if 720p does not work, then we'll push it down to 480p, which is a little bit more tolerable, especially for iPhone, and go from there. But right now, we're just I gotta try it. Got to try it. So let me know if you have any questions or if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions for the show. If you haven't seen my latest post over on Geekazine.com, let me show it to you. And the post goes a little something like this. Would you like to co-host a show? Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I am doing is I am looking for people that have a PC with a Skype connection and a set of headphones and a microphone. And you basically want to talk about something. You have a little bit of expertise in something and you want to talk about it. And yes, I'm using big head and little arms on the video. So anyway, if you want to talk about it, it's basically co-hosting a show. Now, here's what you need to do. You need to be able to commit to at least 6 weeks. 3 months. I'd rather see 3-month commitment, but 6 weeks. All you're going to do, we're going to set this up on Tuesdays, and you'll call in during your half hour. And then we'll do your half-hour show, and then I'll go to the next. I'll go to the next one. I'm gonna try and do 2 shows on Tuesday, and of course we'll push them out on Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday and Friday, or something like that. But I'm definitely looking for hosts on different stuff. I talked to Frank today, and he was pretty interested in that. I also talked to a couple other people, and they showed some interest in some different subjects. I'm really excited about this new direction, this new venture direction. So we'll see what happens here. And of course, if you've ever wanted to do a podcast or a video cast but don't want to set up the equipment that I set up, you just want to call up on a Skype system and talk for about 30 minutes, I've got the perfect soapbox for you. So of course, this is all audition, so you make sure what you're doing is going to be spot on, because we're going to give it a 3-month run. And of course, if your show doesn't throw some traction into it, then we're gonna either retool it or figure something else out. And I'm hoping to be able to figure something else out, because I really want to give everybody an opportunity to have a show here and get that going for you. So anyway, let's see what else we got on. The reason why I was running late, just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, about 6 months ago, I took on a job, actually booking for a local venue. About a month ago, I decided it was a little bit too much. I needed to focus on Geekazine. I'm working on an ebook. I needed to focus on that. Well, in the last 48 hours, a couple things happened, and I got a phone call, and they said, we don't know what to do. Well, they didn't say it that way. Basically, I have the knowledge from the booking. I know what was coming up. I could slip right in there, and I could take care of things. It's on an interim basis, so I'm back to where I was. So, but the last 48 hours, I was being reacclimated to the job that I was doing a month ago. So, and then today we spent a little bit of time getting some stuff done and figuring out what was going on where. So that's why the show's running so late. But that's definitely going to take some changes, and then my schedule is going to be pretty full in the next few weeks. But a good thing is I'll have some extra money for CES and for this next week. Next week's show, just so you know, next week I am traveling to Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be doing something down there for Dell. I can't say too much more than that, but I will tell you that I will be going down there on the 13th, and I'll be coming back the 15th. Will I do a podcast on the road? I do not know. I do know that I will have some time, so if there's anybody in the Austin area, let me know. Drop me a line at geekazine@gmail.com, and of course we can either try to do a meetup or whatnot. So can't promise anything, but we'll definitely give it a try. So I will be down in Austin. It'll be a lot warmer down there for 2-3 days. I'll come back here, and then, of course, get everything ready for the Consumer Electronics Show, which is in less than 30 days. And, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of stuff to do there. And, of course, we still have sponsorships available over at Tech Podcast. But I don't know if I showed you this. You saw the video from this, but let me go over here. We started Tech Podcasts Live. TPN.TV. Well, actually, Todd started TPN.TV. We've got a lot of different videos. Anything that is collaborative video from more than one tech podcast source. Like, for instance, we're collaborative for CES. It's myself and Andy and Todd and Tom from Fogview and Carl from Westside Gadget Guy and SB from Mr. Netcast and a bunch of other people. We're going to be on TPN Live, so, on TPN.tv. So when we go out for other events, me and Andy go out for some other events, we're going to be a part. It's going to be a part of Tech Podcast or TPN.tv. And that's where you're going to see all that video. So TPN.tv, put it into your bookmarks because there's going to be a lot of great videos coming from there very, very soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into your second part. We talked about the question of the week. Will the WikiLeaks clones be more successful? If that's true, we'll see what happens here. All right, part two. Let's start over at digitaltrends.com, and let's take a look here. Of course, the reports are saying that AT&T, it's horrible. Let's see if it works on the Zoom here. Yeah, we can do it on the Zoom. The provider, AT&T has the worst reader score. The service is basically just not that good. The U.S. Cellular, excuse me, U.S. Cellular seems to be the best on there, although there's dashes there, which I'm thinking that it's not acceptable or something like that. But anyway, they had great marks in value, voice, and staff knowledge, and issues resolved. So, and AT&T just it flunked big time. Look at those numbers. Now, if I was an AT&T manager and I looked at those numbers, I'd be going to myself, "Oh my God, what the heck are we doing wrong?" We have, except for texting. Now, I don't know. They said they scored a 60 out of 100. 50% who owned a version of the iPhone. More than 50% of those people own a version of the iPhone. Now, I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I've been an AT&T customer for 12 years. The Madison, Wisconsin area is pretty good for coverage. I don't have too many problems. I go up north, yeah, I'll have some problems. I'll be on Edge as opposed to 3G, but I'll still get what I need to get. I'll have drop calls every now and then, but I'll still get what I need to get. When I go down to Chicago, I have no problems. When I go to Vegas, I have no problems. When I went to San Francisco, when I went to Nashville, when I went to Detroit, no problems. So it really is a question is about where the 3G is, I would guess. And a phone is a phone. Like I said before, you no matter what phone you get, that phone will have a dead spot somewhere in the United States. It's just going to happen. So I don't know if it's just people that are upset with the fact that AT&T has the corner hold on iPhones, because it says more than 50% of those used an AT&T, owned a version of iPhone. So if they're already perturbed in the fact that they can only use an iPhone on AT&T, I don't know. We'll see what happens. This is why people are saying, well, the Verizon Wireless. I mean, you look at this chart. Let's go back to this chart a second. U.S. Cellular, which it's taken first at 82, Verizon Wireless at 74, and of course there's a lot of neutral here. The only thing that they did better was their voice. And then Sprint came in third, and of course a lot of neutral there. Their email was above average, slightly above average. The only one that got the best marks was U.S. Cellular. That red circle means better, and the black circle means worse. So, I don't know. Go over there, make your own assumptions, and let me know. What do you think? Is AT&T a bad thing, or is it a good thing, or do you have problems? I don't know. Let me know. 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. I'm trying to scan my email at the same time here because I'm trying to find this email that I got earlier this week. And let's go to the next article here. Yes, I'm multitasking. This is an actually very interesting article. This is over on AJC.com, airline Wi-Fi, about basically what they're saying, what their concerns are, is that you go onto an airline and a terrorist is there, and they get to go onto the Wi-Fi, and from the Wi-Fi, they can activate something or do something, make it so all of a sudden they can spark off a bomb or something like that. So, like for instance, you could put a bomb into a car, into the parking lot. You could get on a plane. You could get about halfway from your destination. You could go on to Wi-Fi, and you could have something remote detonate. On the same aspect, you can get up 50,000 feet in the air and you can get on your phone and you can start your car. But there's a lot of concern about this happening. Now, if that was to happen, there is still protocol in the air that could point things back, and yeah, it would end up taking a whole bunch of people and kind of just sitting there going, well, okay, we're going to have to hold you all there because somebody on this plane just detonated a bomb. And of course, nobody's going to get away from it. But there is also concern that they do something and what it does is, because of the fact that they can put things together using wireless. And they can even just, you could get on your wireless mobile phone. You could be in 12B and the other person can be in 36F or something like that. And all of a sudden, you could be talking back and forth and trying and coordinating something like that. So, I don't know. It sounds a little far-fetched, but in all reality, it could very well happen. And that's what a lot of people are really questioning, is the fact, do we need to worry about Wi-Fi on some of these planes? Can it be used for bad? And unfortunately, the answer is yes. It can be used for bad things. I could go up 50,000 feet in the air and sell somebody a bridge. I can go 50,000 feet up in the air and rip an old lady off from her life savings. For this. The possibilities there. The probability depends. What do you get out of doing something like that and just activating something when you fly away? You're saving your life, yeah, I suppose, but I don't know. There's a lot of work that they need to do. A lot of consideration whether this, we need to think about Wi-Fi on planes. But the majority of people, do you use Wi-Fi on the plane? I don't. Even if it was free, I probably wouldn't. You let me know. Would you use Wi-Fi on the plane? Have you used Wi-Fi on the plane? Let me know at 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. All right, let's get back into the action here. We're going to go over to Ars Technica, or Technica, or whatever you want to call it. And of course, they talked about the new version of Chrome OS. It was this event that happened today, and I was watching it, and I was going, are they going to talk about something exciting? So I just I was watching this, and it's like, yeah, okay, we know the Chromium OS is coming out, and we know that they're going to come out with the with the laptops and stuff like that. They're going to have the web store. They're going to have a whole bunch of people that'll test it out, and just the regular stuff. It just didn't spark like an Apple event. That's all I'm saying. So, hey, I think I found this email. Cool. Anyway, so What do you think? Did you watch the event or not? I pretty much turned it off after a while. They were talking about a lot of the stuff, the HTML5 integration. You can now play games. You'll be able to go onto the web app store, which is up right now. I went over there. I went over there this afternoon and took a look at some of the games and stuff like that. You can now get what was the game? There was some game that had to pay for before. Now you can get it for free. About some clown busting balloons, I think it was. So whatever, didn't bother me anything. So the thing about Chrome OS is it's not a bad operating system, not a bad idea, but will it be a productive thing for somebody like me? It'll probably be a productive thing for a college student. It'll probably be a productive thing for somebody who just wants to get email, write a few documents, and go. And of course, the cloud questions were answered in there, and for offline storage, if you start something in Google Docs, it'll store it if you lose your connection, and then it'll try and figure out version-wise to get it all back there. But if you have 2 or 3 collaborating on something, there's going to be some problems when it all gets back up there. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Of course, we still have a couple months. Chrome, the biggest problem was Chrome did not put it out before the holiday season. They're putting it out in 2 months, and we'll start seeing the first Chromium Chrome OS machines in the next couple months, and it's a little bit too late. They've missed the holiday shopping season, so and that's just because of delays. So I don't know. ArsTechnica.com to check that out. Excuse me. I think I'm coming down with a cold. I'm pretty sure that's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, last part of part 2 here. We'll get you on your merry way. Guess what this is? It's a TIE Fighter bed. You know, you remember those cheesy 70s hotel rooms where they had the heart-shaped beds? I want to go into a room and have a TIE Fighter bed. And then a disco ball drop and a little bit of how you doing type music going on there. But this is the TIE Fighter bed. This is over on device.com. It is about $18,000 in base price, and it's pretty darn big. I mean, you just think about those wings on that picture. Let's go back to the picture here a second. The bed, you can see the pillow is right there. And so you have to, I don't know if this is a full-size bed or a single or whatnot, but this is going to take up a room is what this is going to do. So if you got $18,000 and enough room in your house, you can get yourself a TIE Fighter bed, and you'll get chicks left and right. Yeah, you will. No, you won't. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of the Geekazine Weekly Podcast. Yes, I do have one message, and I'm going to read it to you right now. This comes from Tom, and he says, I'm one of your podcast listeners and thought you might be able to direct me where to find some help with this. I have an online friend that I've been playing cards with for the past 10 years. He's handicapped with limited funds. He's using a Windows ME machine right now. He lives up in Wisconsin Rapids. I'm trying to help him find a good used computer that I can put Ubuntu on. I've been thinking about a good used XP machine. It doesn't need a huge hard drive, just a decent processor and NIC card. I will be able to do a remote support for him if he needs it. I've been laid off in the last couple of years, and my funds are limited. His monthly expenses he has is $30. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got the phone number. I got the email on this person, Tom. If you want to help out, get him a computer. In all reality, you go to Best Buy. You can get yourself a nice computer, a nice desktop model computer for $300. You can get yourself a laptop for $400 to $500. It's not expensive anymore to get this laptop that I use on my main machine. Was $500. The desktop that I built, the higher-end desktop that I built, was about $500. So $300 that you can get a brand new machine with some service to it, with a warranty behind it. That would be my suggestion. However, we do have something here in Madison called the Swap Shop, Surplus with a Purpose, and basically the government government agencies cannot sell back their stuff. They can't just give their employees a computer or something like that. They have to sell it back to this this extension through the university. And then what they do is they clean up the machines, they clean up the furniture, it's pretty much everything. You just can't give an employee, a state employee, a government employee, a computer or a chair or a light or anything. A stick of gum has to go through SWAP. So anyway, on Friday, SWAP opens up to the general public, and you can get a computer for about $100, which would be a decent computer that you could put XP on and go from there, or Ubuntu if you wanted to. So my suggestion, if you can go the SWAP way, but if we can get, I have the email for this person. If somebody wants to help out with this person and get them a machine, Tom, I'm going to need you to email me and let me know what this who this person is, and if we can get some money together, let's get him and let's get this guy a machine. So he's a disabled person, he's handicapped, limited funds. So I need to know a little bit more, Tom. If you want to send me some more information about this guy, let's get him a new computer, because it's only going to cost $300. And you know, if I get 100 people that give $3 to this thing, we can get him a computer, no problem. So if you want to be part of it, let me know. Geekazine@gmail.com or call me at 608-205-4378. That is the last part of part 2. Thank you very much. Whoops, wrong one here. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Oh, we didn't do the cloud shot today. Ladies and gentlemen, and now let's go to the cloud. I'm frozen. Hello, cloud. There we go. Go into the cloud. Doodle-doo. I got some work with Wirecast 4, I guess. So anyway, that does bring us to the end of the show. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for listening. My name is Jeffrey Powers. Of course, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on MySpace. You can find me on Twitter, on Plurk. We've got the other shows, The Day in Tech History, the 5 Tech Things You Should Know, and the Geekazine special media feed, where all the CES stuff is going on. So the Geekazine podcast is under a Creative Commons No Deriv license, which means you can give it to your friends, you can give it to your friends' friends, you can put it on their computer when they get a brand new computer. But if you sell it to them, I want my cut. So anyway, thanks again for coming out here. Go over to Geekazine.com and check out the clouds. Thanks a lot for watching and listening. My name is Jeffrey Powers, and until next time, you guys have a safe one and take care. All Geekazine podcasts are copyright 2010, JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.